Good evening and welcome to Boss Radio with your host, Prophetic Voice Brinkley. And we have an amazing message of hope and encouragement tonight. And we are glad that you have decided to tune in with us. Tonight we have a special guest. And oh my goodness, she is awesome. She's magnificent. She is powerful. She is a woman of God. She's originally born in Philadelphia. She later moved and grew up in the Bronx, New York. This young lady, she's an overcomer of all kinds of obstacles and life issues, such as broken home, violence, poverty, just to name a few. But y'all know we're gonna pull some more out of her tonight, but y'all know, just to name a few, she was and still is a dreamer and loves performing. With the support of her family, community, and limited funds, she continues to step out on faith, turning passion of filmmaking along with obedience to God from dream to reality. I love it. Not only has she been writing, directing, and producing original dramatic stage plays, dinner shows, concerts, and special events for past 18 years, but she continues to produce films that challenge the mindset of everyday thinking while overcoming micro budgets through God's favor of increase. Oh my God, this sounds nothing. This sounds so much like the favor of God all over this woman. So right now I am introducing to you none other than Sister Tina Batten. How are you this evening?
Hi, sis. I'm doing well. And a shout out to all my family, my East Coast family, my West Coast family, and all the listeners. It's such an honor and a privilege to be on the radio today with you.
Awesome. How was your day on today?
Oh, it's always full, sis. It's always full.
Always looking for a way to get through it. Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen.
But it was a good day. Thank you. It was
awesome,
a very good day, sis.
Awesome. You are welcome. Tell us who Tina Batten is. Tell us who you are. I know I did a quick, quick micro bit of you, but tell us who Tina Batten is.
Oh, man. Let's see. I like to say I'm a visual storyteller. I love telling stories. And then I'm a mama, right? I've got children. I'm a sister and a daughter and a cousin and a friend, and I just love inspiring people. That's what Sister Batten does. I just love inspiring people and bringing hope to this crazy world that we're living in right now,
I know, right?
Yeah. I'm a kind of woman that steps out on faith, even when it doesn't look too good, and just keep it moving. That's one of my favorite words, is just keep this thing moving, keep it moving. When the Lord lays something on your heart, you just got to be obedient and just stay mindful and keep that thing moving forward. Knowing that everything is going to all work out for his good. And that's what I do. That's the type of person I am. I don't take no for an answer. Look, I can go on. You want me to keep going on?
Look, you ran into one of my favorite scriptures. He works all things together for the good of them that love him and are called according to his purpose. That is one of my favorite scriptures. I rock and roll on every single day. Yes,
I'm a witness.
Mm-hmm. Yes, a woman on the rise. The other day on my other station, I had a woman on fire. And tonight, everybody, I have a woman on the rise. Oh, my God. She is rising above obstacles and things that when people say no, she is overcoming that with yeses. And I just love it. I love it. I love how you give God the praise in the midst of it. You put him in the front of it. Just in your introduction alone, it shows, God is there, the favor of God. No matter what, God is there. You're on the rise because God is the one that's pulling you up. And I love it.
And you know why,
sis?
You know why? Because I know where my help comes from. I know where my help comes from.
Come on now.
I know where my help comes from.
I
really do.
I love it. Mm-hmm. Yes. Look, and not only know where it comes from, but I totally depend, trust, and rely upon it every single day. Every single day. Good gracious. Awesome. So, Tina, tell us what's the name of your business.
Sister Batten Productions.
Sister Batten
so I made it real easy. My brand, everything is Sister Batten Productions. Sister Batten.
Awesome.
You can find me anywhere. You just Google me, Sister Batten. So I made it real easy. As long as you spell that last name right, you'll find me.
Awesome. Awesome. That is awesome. And for the listeners, the audience that's out there, understanding that we are on Boss Radio, and Boss Radio is that platform where we allow business owners to come on and not just showcase their businesses, but let us know the story behind the business so that you can get an understanding of who's around you, what's around you, what you can reach out to, and what you may need assistance in. Somebody on this platform is bound to be the one. And tonight, it may just be Sister Batten Productions, just for you. Just for
Absolutely.
you. So with that being said, Tina, what services does Sister Batten Production provide?
You know what? We're a faith-based production company, and I do the writing and producing and original films. Everything that we do and produce is all original material. The Lord lays, specifics on my heart, and I just do what He tells me to do for this, and bring it the most authentic way possibly that I can.
Awesome.
Either stage or film, whatever it is that He'll have me do. I started out doing stage plays, and then I started out on stage, and which is wonderful, and I have to go back to that. I've been doing film for the past few years, but my whole thing is, bringing encouragement and positivity and everything from the street, that's where I'm from, to the stage, because all of the projects are birthed right there on the stage. And then we do script adaptations and bring them to film. And so even if you saw a stage play and you saw the film, you still get something different from each project, which is wonderful.
That's right. That is so true, because, a lot of times people have books that they've written, and then they go on to do movies. And then some people say, well, the book is more than a movie, or I got more from the book than the movie, or vice versa. So each one brings out something in particular for whatever individual is watching at that time or at that moment. That is awesome. Awesome. And so you partner or collaborate with other organizations as well?
I do. Look, I knock on every door, and whoever opens up that door for a sister, I'm walking in. So I find a lot of favor with our church families, of course, our nonprofits, but whoever, I just believe that a good story is a good story. And I have this wonderful way of bringing these characters to life. And so they could be viewed anywhere. I mean, you can use them as evangelistic tool, church, anything, businesses,
Awesome. Now, is this your own work that you produce, or do you produce others' work as well?
So far, right now, this is my only work. I do partner with, like I did a music video for Stacy. Hey, shout out to Stacy if you're listening. I love you, sis. She's a singer-songwriter, and we worked together on a vision that I had for one of the songs that she originally wrote for one of my films. And so, so collaborations like I've got a couple of book collaborations coming up, so lots of stuff, And then not only that, but as a writer of original material, I'm able to originate or write a material specific for a conference or, anything that you, leadership or anything that you may have special that you want to kind of keen on a specific social type of thing, you know what I mean? I can do that as well.
Awesome, because my hand is tapped into several industries, but my industry that's becoming more dominant now is the domestic violence and sexual assault industry. And so that's where my magazine is birthed, through that industry, praising God because He is the one that's truly doing it. So I truly understand, that aspect of it. So in Sister Batten Productions, what is your greatest challenge when you started the business?
You know what? If we would just move ourselves out the way, we can get a whole lot of stuff done. Okay, so that would be my greatest challenge, because look, the Lord lays something on your heart, and it's huge, right? And you're like, wow, how am I, and so you start doubting right away. So if we just move ourselves out of the way, we can get a whole lot of things accomplished, seriously. So that would be like the major, because that's big, moving yourself out the way, your flesh, yourself, that gets in the way a whole lot of times and stops you from your dreams and moving forward in life, you know what I mean? So that was my biggest challenge because I did not study this in school. This is all God-given. And so that was a challenge entering this industry. I've always been a performing arts, right? I danced when I was younger and that sort of thing. And I like to write. But it wasn't until I turned my life over to the Lord. And that's when those gifts and everything just it just enlarged. It just increased. And so stepping out was not going to school or anything. Now, I learned on the way. I learned on the way. I learned from every production. I attend workshops, and I encourage people to do so. But a lot of it is just God-given gift, really.
Wow. So in all of that, you still had to invest in yourself.
Yeah. You can do this. Come on. Where the money going to come from? Come on, And so, favor. I'm telling you, the Lord's laid some stuff, and I've produced some wonderful, wonderful programs, and had no idea where the money was coming from, but it was there, and it was through the family, the church family, the organization, teaming up with people, collabs, all of that is important, and building relationships, and still going on.
That's right. Wow.
And when you look at them receipts, sis. You look at those receipts and you're like, you have no idea. You knew you had a budget of this much, but then when you start adding them receipts up, you have no idea. Like, wow, God did that thing.
Where did it all come from?
He did that thing because I know I didn't have it.
Yes, look, I like that. He did that thing. Look, most people, everybody's now saying, won't he do it? Look, he did that thing. Yes,
no, he did that thing, okay?
He did that thing. And so with that challenge, how did you overcome those challenges? Because I know for some, there are different ways people have overcome things, but how did you overcome that challenge?
Sis, I kept moving forward, and I kept praying. Let me tell you, when we were working on I'm going to use the music video as just a little example. And the Lord gave me the vision of this music video. In this vision, I saw this white baby grand piano, okay? And I just knew I had to have this. It was the whole vision. Everything was worked around it. But where was I going to get this baby grand piano from? So I kept moving forward with everything, our production schedule, our date, everything. I just kept moving forward, right? And it was about, I want to say it was less than a month. It was getting kind of close then. It was getting kind of close. And I still didn't have my hands on this. So the production company that I was working with, they looked and Googled and went on the internet and stuff. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 there was 5 or 6 baby grand pianos that pulled up. And then she sent me the pictures and stuff. And I said, okay, what person is located closer to me? And then, so make a long story short, we ended up getting that. We worked out a deal. It was a win-win for all parties with an extremely limited budget, and ended up having, it was a petite baby grand piano. And we polished it up. I mean, the body itself was 600 pounds. It took like 3-4 people to get. Come on now.
Wow.
Come on. And that was, and I still kept moving forward. So, and that was the whole vision of the whole production. So that's just one example of overcoming and continuing, no matter what it looks like, and moving forward with what he said me to do.
That's an inspiration. Keep moving forward, no matter what. I mean, you in what you're saying, you can just visualize the favor of God in each aspect. Even when you didn't see it in the beginning, you kept moving forward. And as you kept moving forward, you're telling God, I trust you no matter what. Even when it came down to the very end, I trust you. I'm going to keep moving forward. Because, God's timing is not ours. And we always say he shows up right on time. It seems like it's the last minute always. But in actuality, in God's timing, it's never the last minute. It's always on time. Always on time. That is amazing.
Yeah.
It is so
baby grand piano. I mean, come on. That's
wow.
We couldn't do nothing but just fall on our knees. So thankful.
It was a win-win situation for everybody.
It was. It blessed all parties involved.
See, that you can only see the hand of God in that. For it to be nobody lost at no angle. It was win, win, win. And that's what, it takes me back to the brand God gave me that your fight is fixed. It was already fixed. You just had to walk
in it.
Position to want it because it's already fixed. It's already fixed. I love it when he gave me that brand name. Oh my God, that's my peace. That's my all in all. That's everything. When somebody say no, I always say my fight is fixed regardless. You might give me a no, but the next one will give me a yes because I know my fight was fixed over 2,000 years ago. I'm just walking the pathway for manifestation. That's it.
That'll preach. That'll preach.
Honey, yes, and I do preach it too. I do preach it every chance I get. Yes, indeed, ma'am. No joke about it. I'm actually going to try to go back on tour with the Fighters Fix conference. So, yes, ma'am. Yes. That's my baby right there. That is my baby. So tell us, how is your business, how does Sister Batten Productions help others?
You know what? I reach out a lot to our young people, and I provide a platform for them to utilize their God-given gifts. So sometimes they're so quiet and you don't even know that these people can sing or they're poets or you just have no idea. But there's some talented young people out there, and they just need a chance. That's all. They just need an opportunity.
That's right.
And I'm a safe place for these babies to nurture and grow their talents. And, they done went on and started writing themselves and produce their own CDs and music. And it's beautiful.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
So, yes, it's
awesome.
important.
Awesome. So, as you were saying, you're spreading the hope and the inspiration and the encouragement from the street to the stage. And now film helping others. That is so dynamic. And especially with the youth, like you said, everybody, I won't say everybody can't reach the youth. What needs to happen is a lot of times when adults try to reach the youth, they stay on adult level with it instead of going to where the youth is at to reach them. And that's what I find amazing, when God can use you to go to the level of where they're at and just minister to them and let them know, yes, there's a better way. Yes, there is a God. Yes, you can do better. Yes, it's a yes if you just position yourself right. It's a yes.
That's right.
And
Absolutely.
so that is amazing.
Praise God.
That is so amazing. Good God.
I love them babies.
Yes, honey. Yes. That's actually the age group that I love working with is 18 to 21. I love working with, and most people think those are the hardest ones to reach, but I just thank God that He's given me that gifting to be able to reach them. I have a nonprofit where I provide transitional housing to the young adults aging out of the foster care system. And so I'm just thankful that, that which He's given me, I'm able to reach them and prepare them for what's out there to come. It's amazing.
That's important.
It's
Very
amazing.
good.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Mhm.
it is. Because
Mhm.
coming out of that system, a lot goes on, a lot of trauma, and they have a
Yeah.
lot of trust issues. So if you can at least get one to trust you,
Yeah.
you've done a major work. You've done a
Absolutely.
major work. Yes, yes, yes. So, Tina, what words of encouragement would you give to others that would want to start a production company?
I would say, like, you got to be called. Working your calling. So
That's right.
if you're
That's
called to
right.
do such a thing, then you do it. If you're called to write, then you write. If you're called to sing, then you sing. You're called to draw, then you go ahead and draw. So first of all, make sure that
Mhm.
you have a calling and love, because it's a lot of work.
Right.
It's a
That's
lot
right.
of work. And it's a lot of stepping out in faith because, be real, it takes money to do these things.
That's
And
it.
you know what I mean. So really, I encourage people to know their calling and just
Mhm.
walk in that. Walk in
Awesome.
that.
Awesome. 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 That is good, and they should be passionate about it. Should be
Exactly.
passionate. That's
And
right.
I mean,
Because
you can help out. There's a
mhm.
lot of jobs. There's a lot of
Right.
work. You can intern. See if you like it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or there's so many different jobs within the production company. You know,
Right.
um, so definitely mentorship, all of that is important, and it's helpful to kind of, I kind of like this, or I didn't realize that I had a knack for designing sets. I think I like doing that aspect of it, or I love
Yeah.
just greeting the people and getting the paperwork signed. It's
Mhm.
all
Right.
important.
Yes, it
It's
is.
all
Every piece
important.
of it. Every piece of it is important. From
Hmm.
from the beginning to the end, it's important.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome. So knowing that in a production company, the days are quite busy. Share with us a typical day. What's a day like at Sister
Well, it
Becky
all
Productions?
depends. Like if it's a production day and we're on set, then it's a
Mhm.
long day of standing up. uh, you know, uh, and then working your way to those particular larger productions. It's a lot of the appointments and phone calls and reaching out to people and just it takes a village,
Mhm.
honestly, to make a movie or put on a
Mhm.
stage play. There's a lot of moving pieces, and
Mhm.
delegate certain things, to those that are able to handle the workload or what have you.
Mhm.
And you just do it. So it's always networking. I always
Right.
network, like what we're doing right now. Any opportunity that I get
Mhm.
and have to share what the
Right.
Lord has me doing, I'm doing
That's
it.
it.
Absolutely.
That is it. That is it.
Hmm.
Now let's say you have maybe a stage play. What's the day like with a stage play?
Oh my, it's early. Look, again, a long day because you've got your setup. You there well before everybody else because you got your
Uh-huh.
setup and you get all your lighting and even before your sound checks and then your people coming in and you have
Mhm.
rehearsals and going over the script and even before that.
Mhm.
It's so funny because I say even when I finish the script, it has just begun because now you
Mhm.
have to do all the other work. So you have these different stages
Uh-huh.
within the production, from the writing aspect, your development stage. You know what I mean? And then
Wow.
scouting for your locations and your budgets and all of your paperwork, and there's tons of
Mhm.
paperwork and picking out
Mhm.
your actors and your performers and
Mhm.
casting and appointments, and it's just full.
Mhm.
It's just
Wow.
full, and there's
What
a lot
what
of
is
moving pieces.
yes? What is casting like? What is that like? Share with us the fun. I mean, I know there's some bruises in it too, but share with us the bruises, the fun, the successes about casting.
You know what? I love having open casting because it's open to all people. You just never know who you get, who
Right.
walks through that door, and it's all
Uh
about the
huh.
look.
Right.
So I always tell people don't take it too personally. I mean, even me when I go for an audition
Mhm.
or something like that, just to kind of brush
Mhm.
up on my little skill, it
Mhm.
depends on what they're looking for. You never know. Or
Right.
sometimes someone could be so so good and they just touch your heart that as a writer, I will write them in the script. I'm like, you know what? I got a character. It speaks to you. You know what I mean? And it's like, hold on to that. Keep that picture and that information right there. I'm gonna do something with that right there. I love that person or what they brought or how they articulated the words or expressed themselves or what have you. You know. So as a writer, that's what I love, the freedom of it. When you're able to do your own thing, you can take it wherever the Lord has you to take it.
Right. Now, when it comes to writing the script, do you ever get writer's block or any of that?
I do. I do. And I'll set it down. I will. I'll set it down for a little bit.
Because I was going to say, how do you overcome it? How did you overcome the writer's block part of that?
I'll set it down for a little bit and just wait until I can hear again. You know, like I have to be able to hear. So sometimes it's my own fault because I got so much noise. I got, you know, life, everything's going on, you know, and you can't hear properly. So if I just slow down or take those, you know, early mornings and really just, you know, commune with the Lord, I can hear my instructions. And then it'll develop. And I love, you know, I love water. I love the mountains. I love scenic views. And just that alone, you could sit there and it'll just flow. You know, it'll just flow. And then the characters will start talking. You'll start hearing what you're supposed to hear. You know, it's an amazing process.
Awesome. That is awesome. So that was stage play. What is the movie? I mean, I guess all of the casting is pretty much alike, as well as the scripting, should I say?
There's the writing is a little bit different. Stage plays and script writing. But what I did tell my actors, like they're first timers, is the difference between stage and film is that film is very subtle. You know, we don't have to yell like when we're on stage and trying to reach that back row. You know, everything is subtle. The looks, the eyes, it's just subtle. And that was the biggest difference that I saw. And then not only that, but on stage plays and film, on stage I may be limited, you know, to certain scenes. But on film, I can just take it wherever.
Wow.
You know, through special effects and, you know, all of these other cinematography and, you know.
Right. So awesome.
So it's a little bit different. It's wonderful.
Awesome. I'm excited just being educated about the production company. I always wanted to be a model. Never really thought about productions or any of that. I like the model acting type of thing. But I'm going to stay my lane until I am told to move out of my lane.
Send me your headshot, sis. Send me your headshot. I might be able to use you. Send me your headshot.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, my God. Hey, look, I thank you for the opportunity. Look, all I do is I wait for God to open up the doors. Until he does that, I always stay in my lane. But I love it when you say when you find a character or a person that is casting that has come in and there's no part for them, so to speak, you will write them in. And that's the unction. And I love that because it shows me that you are completely open to flowing in what God would have you to do. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't have anything to do with your production company, but has everything to do with that individual.
Yes.
And that is so powerful how, you know, God, he's so amazing. He reaches in there to make sure, you know, it's always a win-win situation. But when he gets to that moment when it becomes intimate and you, and you begin to discern that I need to write this person in. For whatever reason, this person has to be written. It's almost, it's not anxiety, but it's almost like that labor, that birthing push where it has to be done for whatever reason he says. But it's oh my God, glory be to God. But it's just I'm sitting here in awe because I can visualize this thing. Excuse me. I can visualize him doing that to you and just seeing the anointing that rests upon you to say, I need that person right there. I don't know why, but I need that person. I got to go back before the throne. I got to lay at his feet just to get the answer why. So even in the production business, you're still laying at the Father's feet to get instructions, to get direction, to allow favor to manifest, not just on your side of the production side, but on the casting side, on the scripting side, on the movie camera, the ones that's doing the movie camera, and all the all the pieces, and for lack of a better term, but all the pieces on the chessboard coming together, so to speak. It's amazing. It is so amazing. It's like I can visualize this thing. It's like, oh my God, like, see, that looks easy for me visualizing, but I know it's not easy. It's not easy. I understand that, but the anointing that rests upon you to do that, it is powerful, and I can see it like, oh my goodness. So with that being said, what are some of the keys to becoming successful in your field, in the production field? What are some keys to becoming successful?
Well, you have to tell a good story. It has to be a good story, number one.
I know that's right.
Okay, and I mean, because I'm not where I'm still reaching. I'm still rising. Right. Praise God. I'm still rising. Right. So I'm out there still, shopping my, scripts and looking for collaborators and financiers and all of that, But number one, they're looking for a good story. And the Lord has blessed me to write some really good stories. Awesome. Have you had, because I know we talk about successes, but let me ask this, have you had any failures? Or did you have to do a do-over? There's no do-over. Yes, it could be no. I would say I learned from every project, good or bad. Awesome. I learned from every project. Some things, it's like, oh, that kind of didn't work out as the way I wanted to. I'm going to tweak that a little bit, So not necessarily failures, but some things, it's like, I got to tweak that a little bit. I'm going to work on that a little bit. Or that needs to spend more time on that or what have you. But you keep it moving forward. You don't stop. That's right. Right. Awesome. That is good. So having that good story, a good story, and not just a good story, but a catchy story, one that would catch somebody to say, oh, wait a minute. Because, we can have all kinds of movies on the TV, so to speak, but just having one that's showing and something in the midst of it happens that, oh, wait a minute. Let me turn back there. That looks like it was really good. Just catching the eye of an individual so that they can get to see that story, and knowing the business is definitely a key. You got to know the business. Absolutely. You got to know. And stick to it. Just you'll hear no's, you hear this and that, but I just keep moving forward. I mean, you just have to keep it moving. And creative people are able to do that. You're always creating the next thing or the next this or the next, you know what I mean? And so you just keep moving forward with all you do. Growing and learning along the way. That's it. Because I love it, creative visionaries are very creative. They're very creative, and I love being a visionary. And
it's like God would, like you were saying in the beginning, God will show you all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
And He show you so much, you got to write them down because you don't know which parts are moving with which pieces just yet. You just know He's flowing and flexing with all these different things. And so it is so important. And I would say another key, to becoming that successful business owner or production company is staying in His presence to hear Him speak, to let you know what move to make.
Absolutely. And always reaching out and networking. You never know who that one person may be.
That's right.
You never, ever know. And so treat everybody well. And I just love, I love up. I love up on everybody. I'm a hugger. And I just love up on everybody. That's just what, the way I am. And, you just never know who that one person may be. Yeah.
That is awesome. Oh, my goodness. This has been such an exciting show tonight, learning about the production company, Sister Matt and Productions, but, just producing in general and knowing who the ultimate producer is and definitely trusting and relying on Him. And like you said, network is so important, especially in a production company. Networking is key. Networking with the right person, because you can network with the wrong person, and it can make or break you before you even get started.
And building those relationships. Yeah, absolutely. Building those relationships and just keep it moving, just keep moving forward in all that you do.
That is awesome. So, Tina, tell us, why does the production company matter? Why does this field matter?
You know what? Film